girlfriend, 57-year-old Julie Tierney.
Help! Help! Help me! Help! Hello? She's gonna shoot me! He has shot her son. She is over there with a gun. I'm hiding behind my bed. Or she shot him in the neck. And she's gonna shoot me.
Guys, welcome to the channel. If you are new here or if you are one of my returning subscribers, it is my pleasure to have you. Guys, it's another day and another video. And in today's episode of what's going on Sonia's channel, I have a video that I want to share with you guys. Where a 92-year-old mother shot her son to death because he wanted to put her in a nursing home after promising her that he would take care of her at home and this would never happen. It's a very common practice in this American society that I have come to realize since I've started working here. Where I'm coming from, Jamaica, my society there, my community, it's not a common practice. And so the magnitude of this kind of situation struck a chord in me. And I've had many experiences, and I said I want to bring it to my audience because I've seen it repeatedly in my line of work, my previous line of work, that it is very, very alarming to me. I have the clip of the mother who shot her son, and I'm going to share it with you guys. But the broader picture is, a lot of times, I classify these grown-up men and women who want to override what the parents want for themselves because the parents have become aged, come up with a disability. Sometimes it's as simple as they're going through a financial crisis. It's sometimes it's short term, it's not even long term. And they want to take charge of their parents' lives. Want to override what they want for themselves, pushing what they want for their parents down the throat. I've seen cases where, one case in particular, where the mother was just going through a certain instability, financial instability, and she asked her son, and not constantly, from time to time, to help her with some small money to get some small things done for her, as she put it. Like a gas money, and some other little things, nothing major. She has her own house, and the son said to her, and this is the bigger, she have two boys. The bigger boy tell her, even though he has a living fiancé, tell the mother to put up her house for rent and to come and live with him because she can't manage. And the mother is saying, I work, I bought my house for my own comfort and privacy. And because from time to time I ask you for some small money to help me out, you're telling me that I can't manage financially, so I must come and be a part of your family. So when I give up my independence and come under your roof, you and your partner, I will have to go by your dictates. And I am a fairly young woman. I'm in my early 60s. How is that going to work? But some of these children, when they become Grown men and women, they become Jezebel in the lives of their parents, even young, because some parents, and it happened to both men and women. And it's just more coming out because I am a woman. But it happened to both sexes. Okay. Where children, once they are grown, even if the parents is fairly youthful, a woman or a man in the 50s, even as young as in the 40s, they might have had their children in their teenage years or in their early 20s, mid 20s, somewhere there about. So when they become grown, the parent or the parents, they are still very young and want to live their lives on their own terms. But because they feel that they are grown, they think that they can dictate how the parents' life should go. Right? You want to make certain decisions for yourself, and they want to override you. And this case came about, this topic came about because I was looking at the Gene Hackman case. And if you don't know who Gene Hackman is, I've done 2 previous videos about him. Famous American actor. He was 95 years old. He died maybe a little over a month ago, and he's still in the news. Him and his wife, he was 95 and the wife was between 64 and 65, and both of them died at home. And no one knew that they had died until 2 weeks later. The wife died 1 week prior to the man, according to their findings. And nobody knew, even though the man has 3 children, I think, grown children, by his first marriage. His wife that died, Betsy, they didn't have any children together, and she didn't have any children outside of his marriage. But they have families, and both sides, they have neighbors. I mean, if you are famous and you are rich, you have friends. No friend, no family, no neighbor knew that they had fallen ill and died in the house, and they had 3 dogs, and one of the dog was dead in the cage. No help, no domestic help, no help in the house, no help for the grounds. Nobody knew that they had died. And I'm thinking, when I heard the news, I said, this man was a very rich man. He had 80 million US dollars to his name, and all of that money was willed to his wife. He was 31 years her senior, and he left every penny to the wife. And I'm thinking, maybe because there was such a vast age difference between them, he was thinking that he would have died before her. So he left every penny to his wife. So you realize that I am thinking that maybe when the parents divorced, it was a messy divorce. Something happened, maybe all the children took side with the mother, and then maybe to rub salt in the wound to aggravate the situation. Maybe these children at the time were grown, and the fact that the wife was so young, maybe she was probably in the age group of those children, and they didn't like that. So maybe conflict developed, and they weren't left any of his money. He left everything to his wife. And I've seen many cases where parents get divorced and they want to remarry, especially when they want to remarry and they have children by um, other relationship, and those children would discourage the parent from getting remarried, and it caused a lot of conflict. I've heard so many cases. I've worked with people who have complained to me bitterly. Women have complained to me bitterly that they are having issues in their marriage before the marriage, up to the time of the marriage, because the man had children by some other woman, and because he was getting into a permanent relationship like a marriage. Children didn't want the dad to get married to her. They're fighting over house, they're fighting over land, they're fighting over vehicles, they're fighting over money, and it causes a lot of conflict. And I am thinking, if these two people died in their home and the man had children and they did not know, that means they weren't even making a phone call to the dad. That means just the fact that he did not leave any of his money to them, there was some bitter conflict right there. I have seen another case where an elderly woman, almost 100 years old, her daughter neglected her, one child, and the woman would have a caregiver during the day, and at 90 odd years old, maybe very close to 100 years old, when the caregiver left after doing maybe 4 to 6 hours in the day, they put her to bed and she stayed in that house all night by herself until the following day when the caregiver came. Why? Ask me why that was so. She had this one daughter, and the one daughter wanted to put her in a nursing home and she refused, because cognitively she was with it. Good memory, could reason for herself, sound mind, she could make her decision for herself. But just the fact that she had become elderly, old, and somewhat disabled, the daughter think that she could override the desire that her mother had for how she lived the rest of her days. And because she refused to go by the daughter's dictate, the daughter neglected the mother. When you look at the condition of the house that she was living in, roach, the chair that she would sit on, when you lift the cushion in the chair, it was filled with roach. When I opened her refrigerator, it was mucky. Her place was dirty, and her daughter was not a poverty-stricken woman. She was living a good life, and she had her mother in that condition with a caretaker to just come in and do just the minimal things that the agency would ask her to do, and they would do it and then put her to bed, and that's it. The daughter came to look for the mother one time per week on a Sunday, and she had a grandchild by the daughter, and she said when that child was growing up, the mother had to work. She found time to spend with her grandchild. They would go out places to eat. She took the child to Disney World. She did a lot for him, bought him clothes and shoes and kept him and played with him so the mother could work. In addition to that, she raised her daughter well. She educated her. She clothed her, she housed her, she fed her. She and the dad had divorced and she raised her by herself and did the very best for her. Showed her love and affection and raised her well like any good mother would towards her daughter. And in her later years, because she refused to die in a nursing home, the daughter practically turned her back on her. She would come once on a Sunday and spend about 20 minutes because I wanted to know why she was living in such horrible condition when she have a daughter that was fully able to see to it that better care was taken of her mother and a grandson, and nobody cared about her. So these elderly people, and not always elderly people anyway, because young parents, mothers and fathers, because they might be in some challenging position at some time or the other. You have some Jezebel children, I call them Jezebel, who don't care what their parents have done for them in the past, just because they won't take the dictates that they are putting down for their parents. They meet hell with them. Guys, I want you to take a look at the video. I want you to take a look at this video, and then I'll just come back and end the video there. Take a look.
Her son died at the scene.
Life is rough when you're 92.
Today, Blessing is being interrogated by Deputy Thomas Sedlacek.
So what I would like for you to do is to walk me through everything that happened from the time that you woke up this morning, Yana, all the way up until me coming in here and talking to you right now.
Well, can I, first of all, tell you what led up to this, what brought it on?
Absolutely.
Ever since we got to Arizona, why I came with him, I'll never know. But Tom is a very foul mouth. He was one of the most domineering persons I've ever known.
Blessing relocated from Florida to Arizona following the death of her husband to be under Thomas's care.
Tom has always promised me, Mom, you'll never have to go to a nursing home. I will always take care of you.
So guys, I'm wrapping up this 3-part series about the death of Gene Hackman and his wife. We want to keep it fair and balanced. So I've looked at how society treat our elderly people. It could be your friends, it could be your neighbors. You need to check on people when they have become old, disabled. They have withdrawn themselves from the public's eye, basically. Not because they are not able to be social anymore, like keeping the big party, like in this case with Gene Hackman. I can imagine when he was strong and healthy, how sociable he must have been. But once people become old and they can't do the things that they used to do anymore, people isolate them. And it shouldn't be that way. Your families, your friends, your neighbors, we as a society need to always keep check on those among us who are vulnerable, who may need our help at any time. We have to check on them. So we look at that part of the argument. But there's another side to it too. When people are rich and famous, they isolate themselves from society as well. And it seemed as if this was probably one of the reasons why they died in their home. And it took 2 weeks for anybody to raise the alarm that they had passed, to go there and to check on them. They had money. They were famous. They know people and people know them. But some other things, some other dynamics could have come into play as well. Why it seemed as if they were by themselves. Okay, so we'll look at that part too. So this could be a doing on their part. Maybe for whatever reason they're having problems with their family, with their friends. Maybe people stalking them, because I've heard some, by the way, stories that they had fear for their life because people were stalking them. Alright, so they became reclusive. So we looked at that part too. And then this final portion of the argument where you have some Jezebel children who, no matter what you have done for them, because you take certain decision and it's not in line with their liking, even though they know that you might need their help, they choose to isolate themselves and will, for no reason, check on the elderly parents. And no situation at all. No, it doesn't matter what it is that a family is experiencing. It doesn't matter the conflict. Your parents are elderly and they are experiencing ill health. Nothing should cause you not to even be able to take up a phone and check to see, how you doing today? Are you okay? Even if you don't want to go to check on them, at least you can send somebody else, another family member or someone, to say, go over there and see what's going on with them, see if they need any help. No word, no checking up on them for 2 weeks. That could not have been a good relationship. And it looked bad on the family and the society around them as a whole. So we wanted to keep it fair and we wanted to keep it balanced. So I looked at it from 3 different angles. I thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for watching this video up to this point. Thanks for always coming back to support the channel. And if you are new here, thank you for watching this video. And I trust that you have subscribed. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. We're doing big things over here and we hope to do bigger things in the future. So join now and be a part of the family. I love you all and I appreciate your presence here. Until next time. Sonia signing out for now. Peace. Take care of your elderly people around you. Walk good and do something good for someone today. Bye-bye for now.